Sup my dudes, Valkyrja, and today I want to talk to you guys about Bald. I think Blade is insane. I know you're going to notice my crit ratio and be like, Valk, what's going on? Don't worry about it. That's all I'm going to say about that. But Blade is very, very, very strong in my opinion. I think he's a very strong character. And I want to talk about why. The first thing I want to talk about, to me, the most important thing, is skill point efficiency. He uses one skill point to start his basic, where he buffs himself and starts the Force of Blades. And then he's going to buff himself and convert his basic attack into doing percent of his HP. And this isn't going to consume any skill points. The very first activation of the skill does consume a skill point, but afterwards it doesn't. Like, there's no more skill points being consumed, so he's able to just constantly, like, basically be a +0 on your team. He's not consuming skill points, but he's not generating either, which makes him very skill point efficient because he doesn't need a lot of skill points to function. He needs one skill point every 3 turns to function. That's really, really good. Especially whenever you pair him with like a greedy character like Scylla or something. I think he's going to really excel in his sub DPS slot due to just how skill point efficient he is. Similar to Clara, he's going to function very similar to Clara, but he doesn't have Clara's ability to draw aggro. He's just going to exist there and do lots of damage basically for free with very minimal skill point usage. So that's also that to me is a very big plus. And then we talk about his actual damage through his talent. This move hits very hard. I thought, so after playtesting a good bit, it's not nearly as hard to actually activate as I thought it was going to be. This is something that's very easy to actually proc due to how much actually consumes his own HP. His normal attacks consume his HP, his ultimate consumes his HP, his skill consumes his HP. So he's able to actually get his talent off very quickly, which makes me wonder exactly how fast he's going to be able to get his talent off in the future whenever there are allies that are able to consume his HP, which makes him generate stacks even faster. So that's something to keep in mind. It's something to consider. I think I definitely overbloated how difficult it is to proc this talent. It's actually very, very easy in my opinion. And there is a ton of damage that comes out with this. This is a very hard hitting attack. It's really, really good. And then we have his ultimate. His ultimate's really, really strong as well. It deals damage based on how much HP he's already spent during the battle, how much he's lost. So this can actually stack up the longer the fights go on. And the new enemies are so tanky, so the fights genuinely do last quite a while. And now when the people are thinking about the new enemies are really tanky, I want you to think about the fact that we're already level 80 with max stuff. So yeah, the new enemies are very tanky. And basically, he's going to be able to stack up as the fights go on, which is really, really nice. As far as light cone go, I did swap. After some playtesting, I realized on the fall of an ATON just isn't it. The fact that it buffs attack and it's only damage percent on 12, it's only 12% damage increase on weakness break and nothing else that can only go to 24%. It's just easily surpassed by a secret valve. Attack on him just is not needed virtually whatsoever. You just want to go full HP, and because of that, there's no real like destruction light cone that heavily benefits him outside of his secret valve and his personal one. That is it. The only other one that could potentially do is Clara's, but it's because it's a 24% damage increase. But at the same time, you're better off just using the funny 4-star that's very broken. This is basically, if you guys know, sword play as a light cone is very broken on very specific hunt characters. This is his sword play. This is really, really, really strong. It's better than any other option other than his personal one. So a secret vow is definitely the one you're going to want to run. This is the one I noticed that's really, really good. And then traces, I have him 477 across the board. I don't max invest in my characters because I have all these characters, so I can't max invest in them. But I do have him 477. And then as far as relics, I did go plus 50 on all of his relics because I really like him. I like chunky characters. I like characters that are really hard to kill. And he is right there. He is a very difficult to kill character. So I do like the fact that he basically deals a ton of damage while having a ton of survivability as well. That to me is really nice. I don't go for Eidolons. I don't go for Eidolons at any 5 stars. I think it's not worth it. So I just don't do it. So now we're going to put him to the test in MOC. Now I haven't tested this. I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but we're just going to go to 1 to keep it nice and simple because mine is not the strongest, so I don't know how this is going to go. On side 2, we're just going to do this. We're not doing any weakness. We're just taking him to MOC 1, and we're going to see if he can survive on his own and if he can full clear MOC 1 on his own, basically. I think he'll be fine, but it's going to be interesting to see. It all comes down to how much his own personal healing does, and if he's able to actually heal up enough to counteract any damage that happens. But you guys will be able to get a good look at him functioning completely solo in this regard, which I think is going to be kind of nice. So we're going to use his talent to start it off, and we're going to be able to just get rolling right away. So I'm just going to auto, let it rock, and we'll just watch from here. Like I said, mine, yeah, you can see, even with mine being like not built the best, it's still 21k on the skill, 10k on the ultimate without any stacking. The ult hasn't stacked at all yet. That's something that you really want to keep in mind. And he died because he didn't heal enough. So, the thing is to keep in mind here, right? The thing to keep in mind is that he kind of is suicidal. So maybe I should just pair him with Locha and see how that goes. Let's crank it up a little bit. Let's pair him with Locha and let's see how it goes if we do this and crank it up to a level 75 MLC. Maybe it'll work a little bit better like that. I think it's also because how the AI works. The AI used his ultimate as soon as it had it, and that brought him down to 50%, and he didn't have the stacks to heal up again very quickly. So I think that's also how just the AI is working with it. But we're going to bring him with Lochad, and we're going to see how this goes. So we're just going to rock them together. We're going to rock them together and see how this goes. This will be a better showcase of what he can do, because now he won't actually die because the AI won't use stuff out of order, and even if it does, Locha's got it. So now we're going to do this, and we're just going to let it rock. We're going to see how this goes. You can see how often, though, he actually does activate that talent. Like, it is something that happens quite often, so it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, because whenever I first was reviewing it, I know I pumped up that talent a lot, because just the way it read, I was really worried about the fact that it was going to be a little bit too hard. And I said he isn't free to play friendly, but I kind of want to retract that a bit, because he's such a self-functioning solo unit that he's able to just kind of do his own thing. Like, it doesn't really matter whether he has a team or not there with him, because you can see he's able to just function solely on his own. He's able to heal himself. He's able to do everything himself, and he's so skill point efficient. Like, I can't even use the skill points fast enough if I wanted to, like on this team, right? So, like, you'll see as time goes on, and you guys can draw your own conclusions based on the damage you see. Like I said, keep in mind, mine's not the craziest. I know mine isn't the craziest. He can definitely do a lot more than what mine's showing. Like, that didn't crit at all. That was a 12k non-crit. It's kind of good. But you guys can see, I think he's a very good character. I think he's just strong. I think he's just good. I just, like, there's not like enough I can say about it, because I just think he's just genuinely a pretty strong character, and that's all there is to it. His only real downside I can see is the fact that he's AoE, so he might not be the best for taking out bosses and elites, but he's really good for clearing out side mobs, clearing out spam, which, the new area does in waves and droves, is there's tons of mobs. So yeah, that's basically the video. That's my review on Blade. I think he's a very strong character. If you're free to play and you want to pull for him, I can see you completely justified. But after seeing Dan hang in the story, I don't know how anybody's going to want to skip that character. So just keep your future options in mind. Keep everything in mind of what you want to pull. I do think Blade is a very good character. I think he's very strong. I think he's good for literally any team you want to shove him in, except for maybe Silverwolf, because then that adds another element to the mix, which Silverwolf RNG shenanigans are not fun to mess with. So maybe not a team that you have centered around Silverwolf, but I do think he's just very strong in general. Anyways, that's basically my video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Bald. Hopefully you guys' summons go good. I think he's a very, very strong character. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.